Hello YouTube, let's play some chess. Going for d4. And of course going for the Jobava London. Now I'm hearing kind of an echo in the sound, so I don't know if that's the same for you, but I'm sorry if it is. Don't know what's happening. Yeah, still in my prep. I'd like to go for this g4 line. So that's what I'm gonna do now. If takes, I can take the bishop. If the bishop moves away, I'd actually get a nice early attack, which is extremely powerful. So let's see if my opponent knows this. And how well he knows this, of course. Okay, he takes. That's also a line. Kinda needs to move the knight back now. And I'm gonna take here. This is the point where I need to remember, and I believe a3 is the move here to stop this bishop pin, which may be annoying in some lines. Yeah, my intention is to castle queenside, so actually the open G file is beneficial for me. Does this pin make any sense? Probably not. He's probably trying to castle queenside as well by the looks of it. And he's trying to push e5. Which, after takes. Is annoying, especially with the bishop here. I could consider allowing all that. Is this a move? So if he pushes, takes, he can still take with this knight. That would prevent him from castling, at least, if he goes for this line. So that's still a nice idea. And also my bishop wouldn't be under attack there. Yeah, I think this just taking with the pawn makes most sense. Could also leave it actually. Just go for this. If takes, take with the queen. Putting some pressure, getting ready to castle. It does allow him to grab some more space. That might not even be a problem. Let's go for this actually. It's also an annoying pin. Okay, he does go for this. Have I missed something? Might go for something like this. Now we need to calculate some things because I might be able to take here. Maybe there's some lines where I can take there. Okay, now he's definitely not going for this anymore, I feel like. I could give him an isolated pawn. This knight is pinned now, so I can take and... Okay, I think I just want to castle first. This king wants to walk away, that's alright. Actually, I could have just taken here, by the way. And I should have. Maybe I can set something up here. I can still give him an isolated pawn, by the way. But I have the bishop pair here, which, yeah, just looks to be very good. This check kind of puts his king in the corner. Then maybe swing my queen over, try and get my rook in or something. I think that's the play. And I don't think any sacrifices work. I'm looking at this, by the way. That almost works without the knight there. Getting in there also is not a plan because that's defended well enough. I think I'm gonna swing my queen over and see what he wants to do. These bishops still look nice. I need to watch out for this bishop. It's not defended, so that's a thing to keep in mind in all cases. In some lines, there might even be tactics here now. Okay, yeah, so he's trying to get that bishop. Does it make sense to go here? Rook here and then bring it over or something. It just gets the bishop trapped. And something like this, does that work? It's a lot to calculate. No, it doesn't. In the end, he still wins my bishop. So I might have to go for this, which does open up my rook at least. Also maybe just this. Or just get a rook to the open file, take back with my queen and say, okay, I'm playing that position. Let's go for that actually, because this is just a nice position for the rook. I don't want to double my pawns, of course. He still has quite a bad bishop. So I think I'm still doing well. Okay, brings his knight in. This doesn't really scare me. Maybe I want to bring my rook over now. I think that makes sense. This is protected well, so that's not somewhere he can go. If the knight moves over, I have multiple squares for the queen. It's a question which one I like most. At some point he's probably gonna try and use his bishop. This looks to be like a bad move. Can I sack my rook here? Because of this. King here. I can actually go there. It's almost a smart-up mate, but he can go there and this is defended by the queen. So that doesn't work, but I felt like I want to put my rook over here anyway. And that looks really dangerous for him. So let's go for that. Rook is also well defended. Now he could go for something like this, but again, I probably want to hop my knight in anyway, and then this becomes a problem for him. At least I think it does. But do any sacrifices work? Probably not. Yeah, he's not really attacking my rook, like I said, it's well defended. He's only stopping my knight from coming in. Is this a move? He attacks my knight, I can maybe go here. Something like this. Looks interesting. If he attacks my queen, I can still go there. I think it's interesting. He can't even go here, my bishop's there. which he might forget about. You might want to say, okay, let's trade queens and then hang his queen. That would be best case scenario. I also need to speed up, by the way. And I'm looking at sacrifices, but they don't quite work, I think. Maybe they do, by the way. Of course, it's his move. But maybe the rook sack actually works. Because queen comes back with check. King has to go here. This is covered. If I bring my knight in, this is covered as well. So actually I'm threatening 2 checkmates. And I don't think you can stop both. So I think I'm threatening this rook sacrifice. So there are some ways to stop it, of course. I was saying thinking queen here, but that hangs a rook. Rook can't go to any of these squares. Attacking the knight doesn't stop this plan. Maybe this is already mating. Okay, so let's see. Check. King has to go here. Check. King goes there. Then if I go here, I'm just threatening this checkmate. Now do you stop that? I guess by taking my knight. And then... yeah, so I think he has to give up his queen in the end. He has to take, only move. So I could pre-move this pretty much. But and then this. Yeah, and I'm no longer threatening this checkmate, but still this, because my bishop is still covering this square. And other than giving up your queen, I don't see a way to stop this. So I think he has to give up his queen here. And then it's still a game. I'm definitely better there, but he can try to play on. Especially, I have 2 minutes on the clock, and with an imbalance there, that's tricky to play. I'm not gonna pre-move. I probably should, but for the video it's better to actually show the moves. And in the end game I'm probably gonna have to pre-move anyway, but if he goes to that end game, yeah, he's trying to find a way to stop this, but the only way is to take here, I believe. These squares are covered, so your king can't move anywhere. So the only way to stop this is to protect this square. But there's no piece that can move somewhere that protects that square. Yeah, so he gives up the queen. And now this is an interesting endgame. It's still not over. So I should definitely stay focused. Yeah, protecting that pawn. And let's see, can I attack over there maybe? Maybe try and get my rook involved. Yeah, let's actually start putting pressure here, because if the pawn ever moves, that's the thing as well. So I'm looking at this. Okay. Didn't see that, but I don't really think it's a problem. If he doesn't put his bishop back, I might trap it. No, probably not. But this is not really under attack. But now it is. So he defends this pawn, but then this hangs. And important after takes. He can't move his bishop anywhere with check. If he could, then he would win my rook, and then it would become interesting for me. So is it worth to go for this? I don't think so. Let's give him a check, see what he wants to do. Probably here or something. Okay, that's interesting. I think this is alright. Put my rook on a square where it's protected and can't be attacked by the bishop because it's a dark squared bishop. And I can swing my queen over somewhere. Can drop it back if I want to. In this case, let's swing it over here, attacking the pawn and some annoying checks for him to calculate. Well, he didn't calculate much. I don't have much time. That's still a problem. The bishop moves, I at the very least have a check. But I don't see a square you can do anything about it anyway. I should just really play quickly now. So let's do that. This pawn is tricky as well, I'd have to say. Of course I have to save my queen. Let's go here now. He blocks, then thanks that rook. Okay, so let's bring a rook over. This is protected. Again, he could take a pawn, but that probably runs into some kind of trouble you don't want. I feel like there has to be some kind of checkmate here at some point. My rook swings over probably. That seems to be unstoppable. This time there is no queen for him to sacrifice, so just something like this. You can win some pawns and try and promote, but I think it's all too slow. You can try and attack my queen maybe. That's maybe still interesting. Maybe I go there and then... That's a checkmate threat as well. Maybe I go there now. Because that seems to be unstoppable. He can give some checks. But he's gonna run out at some point. Yeah, this I can at the very least take. Let's just do that. And I can just move back, probably, and still go for the same thing. Okay, he prevents that, but that's also checkmate. And there we go. Okay, so let's go for the game review. I felt like this was a nice game with 3 seconds left on the clock, so shouldn't have taken very much longer, but okay, I'm clicking on game review and it's not happening. So let's try this way. Yeah, that works. Okay, so let's see what the engine has to say about this game. Yeah, so I was pretty much prepared up to this point. And a3 was the move I remembered, and here I was pretty much on my own. And apparently h4 was best, but this is still a good move. And here bishop g3 is better. Yeah, this pin is not really that strong because it's defended by the knight as well. Makes sense. And here, yeah, I should have just taken. I just completely missed that. He did as well because he wouldn't have castled if he saw that. This is still good for me, luckily enough. This is a blunder. Apparently I do play bishop c7. I was thinking this. Queen a5. Oh, that's interesting. What if he goes here? Bishop takes, and if knight takes, I can take this probably. That's actually equal material, but yeah, his king is very weak, so makes sense. That was tough to find in the game. Felt like this was alright as well, but black is better here, so yeah, definitely not the best game. And then here, I was wondering if this worked, but yeah, it's just a draw. Thing is, if he takes, I have a perpetual probably, or something. But the king can't move here. Yeah, but I don't have a smothered checkmate as well, because if this, then the queen can take. So here I then just have a perpetual, and yeah, I wanted to go for the win, and rightfully so, because I ended up winning. And this was the only winning move actually, so still happy I found that. And then here, yeah, it's called brilliant. And again, it's the only move, so I'd have to say my execution in the end was pretty good. And then here, apparently this is not his only move. Yeah, queen d7. Stopping this, so if I go here, then the king has an escape square. Yeah, this still gives up the queen, so then knight d7. That would have definitely been a better try. But just this, probably. Oh, knight takes here, and then I still win the queen. Because of this, the bishop can go back. And then I still win the queen. Because the bishop is pinned now, so... yeah, there are just no variations where he doesn't lose the queen. I didn't see all of them, so I got a bit lucky, but... Okay, let's continue the endgame. Yeah, and engine is gonna call some of these inaccuracies, but trading pieces is also always good. In these situations where you just up a lot of material. I'm trading some pawns as well, and I had to play quickly here, so if there are no big blunders, then I'm happy with how I played. And here, yeah, it's just mate in 5. Okay, apparently king b3, because that's just a quicker checkmate. I figured let's just take the bishop, and then here, yeah, he just hung mate in 2 anyway. But that's pretty much unstoppable, whatever you do. Engine says rook f7. f7. So this rook. And then probably he wants to come over here. And then queen here. Okay, the line goes on, but yeah, this is just... It's queen and rook versus 2 rooks, so... He should have tried something like that, at least, to prolong the game, because I didn't have much time, but yeah, he ended up getting checkmated in 2 moves, so... yeah, I'm happy with the result. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe if you want more of this. Maybe leave a comment. Maybe become a member if you want. But for now, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.